Welcome to Gadget First. Today we're doing the full review of the Xperia Mini Pro by Sony Ericsson. So this is like their mini handset, as you can tell by the name. As you can see by the size of my hand against this phone, it is tiny. It's got a 3-inch screen with a resolution of HVGA, which is 480 by 320, and on a screen size like this, it should be perfectly adequate. It should be nice and sharp, and it's perfectly pocketable as well. Less so because it is slightly chubby, as you can see, but altogether very pocketable. So first we're going to look at the phone's actual quality, how it works as a phone. The speaker bar here, it's really not very good. It's plenty loud enough, to be honest, but the clarity just isn't there. It sounds muffled, and usually when I'm talking to someone, I really can't understand them sometimes. However, the microphone, the quality that other people hear me, is adequate really. It's not too bad, it's nothing special, but to be honest it's not too bad, nothing to worry about. Texting, if I go into the texting app here, it's all threaded messaging, so that's very nice indeed. So it's sorted by the contacts that you contact. So if I go on Anthony Wheeler, all my texts that I send to him are here, rather than having your text messages as they come in, not grouped in any particular way. So if I tap on new message here, I can add a recipient, and then it takes me to my contact list. I'll go on Anthony Wheeler, and so then I tap on his mobile, and then I can write with this keyboard. The keyboard on this phone isn't bad actually, it's quite nice. If I just type a few things here. However, I find that the keys actually do move around slightly as you press them. They're not completely the build quality just doesn't feel too great as they move around slightly, but altogether it's not bad. But if you do have large thumbs, then it's really not too great because the keys are very small and you'll end up clicking like 4 keys at the same time. So we've got a number row across the top here, 1 to 9, and with 0 at the end, and you can access these with the blue key down here. It's basically the same as an Alt key on your computer's keyboard, and it's the same for all the other blue characters dotted around the keyboard. There's lots of characters like a pound sign, euro sign, exclamation mark, hash, and all things like that. So the keyboard is quite good. As a phone, it's not great, but you know, it's nothing to worry about. It's not bad. So just zoom out here, and unlocking the screen, you're met with this. You can scroll right to turn the sound on and off, and left, and then right to unlock the phone. You're presented with Sony's home screen interface. Sony have a number of widgets that they put in. So if I tap on here, go on to widgets, and it should load. There we go. So we've got a number of widgets. Data monitor is a nice widget. Basically this is an app that Sony put in, and it tells you how much mobile internet you use, which is nice. We have personalized power control widgets. So instead of having one bar with all your power controls, you have them as individual widgets, which is cool. So that's it for the home screen, or the widgets at least. Dotted around the screen, you have on the top left you have a folder, top right you have a folder, and down here you have folders as well. You have the launcher button here to get to all your apps, and you can sort them by alphabetical, your own order, most used and recently installed. and you can delete apps by tapping that icon down there. So altogether, the home screen, it feels a really polished experience, much more so than a lot of Android phones, and it seems like it's made for the screen size as well. It's not just slapped on the phone and hope for the best. So to add something to a folder, say I want to put Facebook in this folder, I just tap and hold on the Facebook icon, and I can drag it to any one of my 4 folders, and there you go. Now if I tap on that folder, I can just get to Facebook that way, which is very nice. So onto the design of the phone. We've already mentioned the brief front of the screen. These 2 buttons down here, the menu and the back buttons, are capacitive buttons, and the home screen, the home button, is an actual push button. And I actually like this because it's more of a definite push, you know. These 2 buttons, you just hover over them pretty much and they do their job, but this one is more of a definite feel. So going on to other aspects, we have a front-facing camera at the top here. It's 0.3 megapixels. It's adequate quality for video calling and front-facing photos. We have another range of sensors, like light sensors and proximity sensors up there. On the left-hand side, we have like this little thing to help get the back off, little notch in the body. On the right, we have a volume rocker and camera key, 2-stage camera key, so you can push it down to focus and then push it again to take the picture. On the back, we have a 5 megapixel camera and LED flash. This takes HD video, which is very nice. And also, there's a speaker at the bottom here. There's a microphone at the bottom here, and on the left, we've already covered that. On top, there's the micro USB port. Now this also acts as a host port as well, so you can plug in a multitude of things like flash drives and other USB things as long as you have the lead. There's also the secondary microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack and unlock key. So let's just take a quick look at the camera. Unlocking the phone, we can go straight to camera by holding the camera key. In about a second it pops up. There you go. So here you go. You can tap the screen to take the picture. You have settings down here, like normal, scene recognition and smile detection. You can drag this out to change the resolution. You can change to the front facing camera. There's different scene modes as well, like landscape, which will cater the phone's camera to the certain shot you're aiming for. And there's different settings through here, more advanced settings. So that's the camera. Takes quite good pictures. The photos in daylight are quite good, but at night time it can be a bit noisy. And it takes good video as well. They're very smooth videos with a good quality. A lot of so-called mini phones in the past have not been anything to do with their bigger counterparts. They've just been phones slapped with a brand name on them. However, this phone really does live up to its bigger brother. It has a 1 GHz processor, which is more than enough for this tiny screen, and it does a multitude of things that you wouldn't expect it to do, such as gaming performance. Angry Birds here. Here we go. If I just open a level, as you can see, it's really smooth. Everything about it is lovely and smooth. And you wouldn't necessarily expect that from quite a budget designed, a phone with budget designed in mind. So it's really good power wise. So let's quickly do web browsing. If I go onto the browser here, and I'll just go onto a website. I'll go on to Gadget First, our favourite website. I'll just go on the full site, so it's a real test of the phone. I'm on my mobile network here, so it might not be the quickest in the world. But as you can see, it loaded relatively quickly. The animations of the pictures going across is really nice and smooth. And screen rotation is nice and quick. And also zooming in is very smooth. It's almost like up to the standards of the iPhone and Samsung Galaxy Galaxy S2. So that's really nice. It has full flash support, so pretty much everything you can do on tablets and larger devices you can do on this. I'll just go through a couple of the included apps now, because Sony Ericsson have done a really good job of making the phone feel up to grade with hello Tinker, up to grade with the likes of Apple phones, like all the integration and polished UI-ness, if that's a word. So going on to the music player, it's very similar to Apple's music player on the iPhones, and it's really easy to use. It just feels a lot more polished than a lot of Android phones. So you just click on a song, turn. I'll just show you the speaker quality. It's quite a good speaker as well. There's not much bass to it, but you know, you can't expect much from a tiny little phone. And it's plenty loud and clear enough. So the music player is really nice. It also comes up with album art if you have it, like that. So yeah, it's really a polished experience. It's the same all across the phone. The gallery is much the same as the stock Android one though. But yeah, everything feels polished. There is one little niggle I have with the phone, and that's in the phone app itself. Basically, usually if you start typing in the letters of someone's name, like ANTH for Anthony, usually it would come up with Anthony as a suggestion, but this doesn't really happen on this phone. You have to type in the number or go into your contacts list. I just like the convenience of having the suggestions coming up, but you know, it's not too much of a big deal, but just something that annoys me a little bit. Right, so if we open up the battery cover here, this can be a little bit hard because the phone kind of like flips up from here, so it can be a little bit tricky to get the battery cover off, but I'll give it a go. I always get worried that I'll break them or something, but they're usually alright. So, I'll just lock it, sorry. The battery is a 1200 milliamp hour battery, fairly small and really light. It's not going to weigh the phone down at all, and I found battery life to be about a day and a half really of quite heavy usage. So if you're not a heavy user, you could quite easily get 2 days out of it, which is quite good for an Android phone. You have the memory card slot here, which supports up to 32GB memory cards. So plenty of storage space there if you need it. Build quality on this phone is fairly good as well. With a lot of slider phones, you find that the slider mechanism itself is quite like poor and rubbish. But with this phone, it feels sturdy enough. I don't feel like I'm going to break the screen off by opening it. And it kind of snaps down. I personally use a Milestone 2 as my phone, and it's not spring loaded, it just comes up as you push it up. But this one, you get to a certain point and it pops up. I think that makes it feel a little bit more tacky, but you know, it feels solid enough anyway, so it's perfectly good. And general build quality is quite sturdy as well, despite the fact it's completely made out of plastic, so that's not bad at all. That's it for the Xperia Mini Pro review. We really like this phone. The actual phone features of it might not be perfect, and there are a couple little tiny problems in the phone, but altogether it's really brilliant. And I think it's about £180 without a contract, and you're getting a 1GHz processor with that and a really nice screen, which is really bright. So it's a steal really. It's really good. So we're gonna give this phone 9 out of 10.